Alright, welcome back to Missing Persons TV. I'm Brian Ladd with my co-host Deborah. Today is Sunday, June 7th, 2009, 9:52 p.m. We have 5 new cases we're going to be discussing tonight, and then a redo, and that would be case number 735, Cynthia Ann Macklin. The cases tonight will be case number 674, James Patrick Grealis, 680, Tony Epps, 678, Adam Castile, case number 763, Jody King, and case number 764, Tracy Ocasio. But to get things started, I have 2 guests on with me tonight, Gail St. John, and I have Deborah Hilt. Deborah Hilt is the mother of Cynthia Ann Macklin. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Good, thanks. Good.
Gail, we were discussing this earlier. You're going to be doing a live psychic reading tonight for case number 735, Cynthia Ann Macklin. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I forgot to mention we have Kevin Doyle with us tonight. Sorry about that, Kevin. Are you with us? Kevin?
I am in spirit.
Okay. Kevin,
that's good.
Let me get some graphics up here too. This is Cynthia. We're going to be discussing her case first. Actually, she goes by the name Cindy, and we have a website up for her too, which is findcindy.com. Kevin has worked this case again too. He sent me his notes. Those notes are posted on the case file. I've updated all the cases tonight, so if you're in the chat room right now, all the cases are up, posted. Just click on their picture to see what we're seeing right now. And Cynthia's picture would be on the bottom right, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Deborah, are you in the chat room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, bottom right.
Bottom right. And then we'll be discussing that case first. But before we get started in the missing person cases, Gail, I know you got back from Arizona recently searching for a missing person. You discussed that earlier when we were off air. Do you want to get people up to speed as what went on that case? And then I heard that you got a little sick, a little food poisoning, and maybe some E. coli.
Yeah, a lot of it.
That's not good.
Let's get to the case first.
Okay.
Jenica Feuerstein.
Okay.
And we did make progress. We did a blind drive. We did get the street names and everything that we did on the blind drive and things. Everything's kind of been verified. So we traced her through Phoenix area and back out to I believe the highway's 87. And don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it was. It takes you out to the Tonto National Forest area, and so we tracked her whereabouts to there. It was limited time that we had when you talk about the desert, even though we work from 6 in the morning to 9 at night. It's very hard traveling in those conditions, you know what I mean, and walking those conditions and that kind of stuff. So it takes a lot of hours to cover a small area, even between wildlife and the heat was 106. So we covered as much as we could. We got it down to an area where it's a little more narrowed down. I really think that what we're at now is that there was, according to the family, they do have the ability to get cadaver dogs out there now at this time, so that'll help. And since we've got it a little more narrowed down, I think, they're going to get a lot more cooperation to get them out there. And, their family is continuing to search.
Okay.
So, the family is...
The area that you're looking at out there in the Phoenix, Arizona area for Jenica, do you have an approximate dimension of that? I mean, about how big is that area that you're talking about that you keyed in on?
Well, it was all over the city of Phoenix. We traced her, but we traced her mainly around I believe it's the actual police station. And there was partiers, they'd go into different people's houses. We traced them from street to street as they just kind of drove the Phoenix streets, in some of the neighborhoods, partying. And that's where we were able to get some verification of, where she'd actually been. People said, oh yeah, that did happen. So then we actually traced her leaving the city. with another particular person. So we know who she was with.
Right.
When she
Is that
left
the
the
particular
Phoenix.
person that we believe she was with?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And so we traced her whereabouts as she left the city. Our major issue was trying to find out what road they left. You know what I mean? Because they'd driven all over so much in that one section that it begins, the residue begins to crisscross. You know what I mean? As you're trying to separate it.
All right, Gail.
We kept going down the street and saying, no, we feel nothing. Nope, we feel nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trying to find the actual street that they left Phoenix on.
All right, you guys are seeing Jenica's picture up right now, the case that Gail's discussing. That's also case number 720 on my site, and Gail actually has that case open too on her website at psychicgail.com. The maps and the areas that she's talking about are also posted on the case file, along with our past shows that we've done on this case too. Gail, I'm looking at the area that we were looking at, in the area that I think that the answer to Deborah's question was, I think it was about a 2 square mile area, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's actually a large area.
We actually landed very close to where you had talked about in the Tonto National Forest area. When we did the drive, we ended up in the same approximate area, Brian.
Okay.
So
Blind drive. You made one. Are we going to get to see that?
Reggie did it, so I'm hoping that we have it.
Okay. Speaking of Reggie and Travis, what have they been up to? We haven't heard from them lately.
I think just exhausted and rusting.
Okay.
You know, it just took a lot out of them young kids.
Yeah, but you got E. coli. You're talking to us. So if you get a hold of them, you know. Okay.
I go and go and go.
They're
so,
young.
You know.
Okay.
Well,
They're
hopefully with the
thinking
school
of
year ending now. Well, Reggie is probably, if he's on break from school for the summer, hopefully he'll be around more, working more on the missing persons cases.
Yep, school is over.
Hear from him more often.
Definitely know school's over. Samuel, you got school tomorrow. He says no. Yeah, I know school's over because they're all over the place now.
Well, and for those that are not that familiar with Jenica's case, she is missing since January 3rd, I believe, of this year from the Phoenix, Arizona area. It's listed as Mesa. Gail has said that she more accurately has gone missing from Phoenix. There is lots of information regarding Jenica's case in Brian's forum at missingpersonforum.com and also at Gail's forum on her website at psychicgail.com. So please check those out, pass her photo around, email the media, ask them to cover the story. It would be really great because Jenica's case is not getting enough attention either.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the only hold on, Brendan. The media has not picked up on this story at all. As far as I know, Gail, I don't think anything's been done. The only thing that I've seen, as far as in the news at all, would be you. Once again, Gail. So, thank you for doing that. I know you went down there for Aji and for Kaylee. So you're definitely help bring attention to the cases. But
yeah, I'm there for the missing person, whether they want to put it out in the news or not. You know.
Well, it helps because
Somebody
their picture goes along with whatever you do.
Well,
and
not even a news station picked it up down there. So we couldn't even get Jenica's word out. Nobody was interested. What a sad fate. Really is.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Gail. Let's start with the cases now. Like I said, the first case we're going to do is case number 735. This is Cynthia Ann Macklin. Let me get her picture up right here. Hit the wrong button.
Which is not the most charming picture of her. She's really a very pretty little girl.
Oh, we know. There's nothing wrong with that
We
photograph.
just happened to have that because those were the clothes that she went missing in. So.
Okay. This case is case number 735. We have on the phone with us. This is Deborah Hill. This is her mother. Deborah, would you like to give us some more information? A lot of people may have not heard about this case until tonight. I know we've been working on it. There's a lot of information posted. Can you just sum it up as far as her disappearance and what police think and what you think may happen?
Which Deborah? me?
No, I'm sorry, Deborah Hilt. I'm very sorry.
Okay. I'll go by Deb.
Okay,
I'm
Deb. Okay.
And she's Deborah. Okay.
Okay.
Basically, the thing that gets me the most about her disappearing is 3 weeks before she left, she had called me and said, "Mom, I want to come home."
Mm-hmm.
She had been staying with her father. We were divorced when she was very young, but she still remembered her dad.
Mm-hmm.
He had since remarried and wanted her. So anyway, he was originally in Idaho, and then he basically ran and took her to Texas, which Texas would not have been okay with me. It's too hard for me to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So she stayed there. She had called me and she said, "I had enough. I'm ready to come home." I said, "Okay, I can't get your ROTC ready to fly until next year, so why don't you come home in the case in the summer, and we'll deal with your dad." I'm fairly confident she doesn't like any confrontation, and I know that she did not want to tell her father that she didn't want to live there. That would have been too much heat on her. What I think she was trying to do is get out of her house for a couple of days, go crash at somebody's house, go see a concert, go hang out for a couple of days, then call me up and say, "Look, I've left Dad's house. I'm ready for that plane ticket. Let's do it now." That's what I believe she was trying to do.
Okay.
The police have, interestingly enough, labeled her as a runaway,
Mm-hmm.
but typically when a 15-year-old goes missing under runaway conditions, they don't ask for a search from the community because often they're found very quickly.
Right, but she
is
has
what I
not
was
been,
told.
though.
However, the Galveston County newspaper had a posting from Major Tutelamundo from the Galveston County Sheriff,
Mm-hmm.
was the spokesperson. They did make a mistake. They did say she went missing on January 30th. That's incorrect. She was missing January 28th.
Okay.
Anyway, so, it's kind of curious they label her as a runaway because she left her dad a note saying she loved him but was done living with him. But that she would be fine. The only thing that was seen, she was seen very early, probably, I would say, within 7:30-ish type of time frame in Baycliff, Texas, at her corner of her bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
There was a vehicle that was seen picking her up. Interestingly enough, she climbed into the back seat, which the little boy who saw her was 8 years old, and he came back with that a little bit later that she had climbed into the back seat. Gave a color of the vehicle and a general description of the vehicle, and it said it had scratches down the side, and that's all we've had. Texas ICWA search was immediately put in. Flyers were put up everywhere. And curiously enough, though, there was absolutely no contact. And, when it came right down to it, everybody, Texas ICWA search as well as her detective was feeling very negative about her still being around, physically alive.
Okay.
Because normally there are some kind of sightings, and it just went absolutely nothing. No calls, nothing. No friends knew anything. There were two people that were lie detectors. They both passed. I have not been lie detector tested, and neither has her father. I have initiated getting DNA samples
Mm-hmm.
into the National Center for Missing and Exploited, and I am being very bossy to her father right now about getting her dental records as well. God forbid that's the case. I don't want to have to wait,
Okay.
So, other than that, I've just been looking at everything I can find and contacting as many places that I can. I am at a complete stopping point right now. I don't know where to go for her.
Okay. Thank you for telling us. I know you've been doing a lot of work in the forum and on her website at findcindy.com. Did you ever expect to go through this much difficulty trying to get the word out there about your daughter being missing? I mean,
you know, I am so frustrated. Deborah was kind enough to put together the website, and she put media contacts, and I have, honest to God, I have gotten a hold of every single one of those contacts 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one person that actually responded and said, I have a 15-year-old too. Gosh, I'm really sorry. There's nothing we can do. And so I wrote her back and said, how would you feel if your 15-year-old was the one who was missing?
Hey, these are media contacts, though. There is something they can do.
These are media.
Do a story on her.
They can. They absolutely can. So I pushed her, and I said, well, you know, what if it was your kid? She said, well, how far away are you? I said, that is not an issue. I will fly wherever you want me to be. Even though it's only a 5-minute interview, I will be there. That's not a problem. And I never heard back from them.
Okay.
I have tried to get in contact with the Galveston County newspaper because they did a story once. They refused to do a redo. I've tried to correct errors on the Seabreeze newspapers, which is like a local free paper down in the Galveston area.
Mm-hmm.
They refused to recant the mistakes that they made. It's just been because she's 15. Well, she was 15 when she went missing. She's had her birthday. She's 16. And because she left a note to her dad saying she'd be fine, everybody thinks that runaways are fine. Runaways of this age are of no interest to anybody.
Yeah.
But yet, if you really do the research,
Look, there's the
you know,
treasure on the
just because a
computer.
kid is 15 years old and can plan to go to a friend's house and hide out for a couple of days, you know, this is 5 months into it.
Right. It's
How
definitely
is
been
she
too
eating?
long.
Where is she sleeping? This is way over the top, and nobody wants to hear it. I mean, you guys actually were the first people to even acknowledge me.
Well,
So
sorry to
that's
hear
how
that.
difficult it's been.
Okay, here's what we've
I
done.
actually,
Go ahead. If you guys go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've written, if anybody's interested in seeing them or posting them around on findcindy.com, I wrote an article called Why. It's more of a poem, I guess. And I've written a couple of things that have gone some gigs in the media or done some, you know, just something to make you think.
The wine cart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just something to make people think. And I have some statements on there that are really hard to look at. But it's very real. And I'm hoping that will impress on important people and realize that, you know, like poor little Aji, his parents, his grandmother doesn't even speak English. What is she going to do?
Right.
You know, I'm a cyberspace retard. You guys have walked me through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, without it, I would still be banging my head against the wall. And I speak English, and this is my native country.
Mm-hmm.
And that poor little boy, he's missing, and he can't speak for himself, and his poor grandma can't either. And nobody is grabbing that. And I want to know why. I want to know why from the media. And if anybody is willing to answer this, why?
Daddy, remember that part?
Are some of the
Daddy,
other
remember
kids
that part
more
when we went
important
over
than
things?
anybody else's?
Remember
Seen
that?
And it has to do with ratings.
It was like
Right. It certainly does.
Because if I knew what happened to Cindy, or if I knew who took her, and if there was some kind of scandal to it that I was able to prove, they'd be on it in a hot minute.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's drama is what,
you know,
what makes the stories. Here's what we've done. We've established findcindy.com. We set that up. We set up two forums, missingpersonsforum.com, and then Gail St. John has her up there in that forum as well on psychicgail.com. We've done some dream drawings. I was going to discuss what I did in the past, and then what I did the other night, what Kevin's done, and then Gail's going to she's done some work on this. She's actually going to do some new work on the phone with us right now. Let me briefly discuss this real fast.
Okay.
Sorry about my children back here. I'm going to have to go silence them somehow. He knows what he's doing. He knows I can't get up right now and go tell him to be quiet. But I'm going to fix that here in a second. Anyways, the first...
I recommend ice cream.
What's that?
I recommend ice cream.
Ice cream? Yeah, they've just had some popcorn. I was thinking about maybe some chloroform. That's just a joke. The dream drawings that I had back back about a month and a half ago. The first one says works with bricks. He asked her to go to Dallas for a concert. Second one says arena, the number 314. She's not in the trailer. Okay, hang on one second, guys. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Arena 314. She's not in the trailer at her mom's house. She does not know she's missing. The last one says bricks, not a runaway, will be set free. Gail, I got your notes from on April 20th. Do you want me to read those real quick? Gail, you still there?
Yeah. If you could please read those.
Okay, they're not going to affect anything that you're doing now. That's what I was asking.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay. Not gone. She wants to be gone. Dark man, Hispanic, mustache, medium, and then there's a green car. To the monument. I know we did a lot of work on that monument. Went towards monument. Camping. Outside, some type of camping feeling. And then there's something to do with a waterfall, state land, a warm spring, I believe, in a small town, and then some clay, reddish type of clay, dry. We did look up that. We did find the monument. I was almost positive that monument you're talking about of the horse. That's posted in the case file. We did do a show on that. And then Kevin sent me some notes on April 23rd. She says wants to be free, blue or white car. White male, 18 to 22 years old, employed in grocery market, stockman, slum housing community, barely making it for food, survival, wants to stay away from home, and then we did another show on that, show number 81. Now, last night, Deborah had sent me some questions for me to redo. This is the typical dream drawing where I actually print and put under the pillow, but she had wrote some questions on there. Now my printer, as you can see, it's on the case file. It doesn't only print pink, so I'm kind of out of ink. So I handwrit the questions in there. Deborah, do you have the you have the questions? I do have the results of the dream drawings and stuff. The redo, and that is posted on the case file. Deborah, do you have those questions, and I can kind of...
Yes, I have.
Okay, go ahead and just give me the questions, and I'm going to read it right off here, what I think they mean, because it's kind of written, it's not like you wrote a question and there was the answer. It's kind of stuff written all over the place, but I'm pretty sure I can answer the questions just by looking at this.
Okay, these questions were prepared by Deb, by Cindy's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, what state is she in?
Okay, Texas.
Number two, do you want them one at a time?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the first one would be Texas.
Okay. Okay. Number two, what town?
It says says Dallas Trailer Park. So I guess the answer would be Dallas. And that, you know, Dallas is a pretty big area. But there's something in the second dream drawing. Just go on to number three.
Okay. Number three is she watching herself on the net?
Okay, and then it says not on the internet, so I don't think she has. I don't think she has, nor she has internet access.
Okay, number four, is she staying away of her own choice?
Once family. Okay, I don't think I can answer that one. I don't know.
Okay, number five, is she traveling around?
Okay, this is where it says this only park. So I think that she is going to a park. And that's it.
Okay. Number six, who is she with?
I think there's somebody named Kevin.
Okay. Number 7, who knows any information about her right now?
And I think the answer to that would says father. Now that's just going off right there. Did you already look at these, Deborah? Have you seen the way I wrote these things down on the paper? It's a little confusing, but that's what I'm trying.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
And I actually,
Go ahead.
the Wants family made sense to me.
Okay, let me finish up. Let me do the second thing here, real quick. It says Cynthia is with Kevin. She's going to call Mother safe, and that's why I emailed you back, Deb, saying that I think that you're going to see her soon, and she's going to call. I know you want to go down to Texas. I can't tell you to go down there or not, but from everything that I've gotten so far, and I think everybody else has gotten so far, is that she is safe, and I think you should plan on seeing her really soon. Now, what were you going to say?
Oh, I just, wanting family, I just get the feeling that she is lonesome
Okay.
when I feel.
Now, it says Kevin. It could be just because I know Kevin. I know Kevin was doing a redo. That could have something to do with it. I'm just reading off what was on the paper. Your husband, if you or her father, have you spoken with him recently? Do you think maybe he would hide something from you?
Absolutely. He's already impeded the case a few times.
Okay. Well, if he knows that she's safe,
there was-
would he at least tell you that? I mean.
No, not necessarily.
Well, that's an issue then. That would.
He's got some things going on that are pretty big, and in fact, when I saw that, because he does run a construction company, and Cindy had access to all kinds of men, you know. I called him and I asked him, I got this anonymous tip, and Kevin, and he refuses to call me back.
Okay. If you guys would.
So that we'll see.
Okay. What she's talking about is some of the stuff that's earlier in this case. There's links to all the other shows. If you're interested in following up on this case, please go back to the earlier shows where we discussed this. Kevin Doyle's been working this case too. Kevin, would you like to read the information that you have?
Yeah, sure, Brian. For my second meditation that I did on this case, I have alive, running for her life, drugs involved, she's in trouble, does not want to be found, prostitution for surviving, bus stop 912, Cincinnati, selling drugs, Tom or Tommy knows. My notes after the meditation, which are my conscious notes, like I'm talking to you right now. Cynthia may be alive and running away, could be in trouble with other person or people involved with drugs. She may be prostituting, selling drugs to survive. A bus stop may be where she's located on a regular basis. 912 could be anything. A person by the name of Tom or Tom could be involved. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Kevin. I'll look at this too and see if we have any similarities to that. Thanks again, Kevin. Gail, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just kind of sitting here just gathering thoughts. And the one thing that kept coming back to me was the word Gerard. I don't know what that means, but I felt like it might have been a city. And I still feel we're talking about, possibly around the Texas area yet. So, Gerard, don't know, like I said, don't even know what to call it, just heard the name.
Gerard.
Gerard, like with a G.
Okay.
I think it was with a G. Gerard. And, so you have to look that up because I really don't know. And, another thing that came out was Eastwood. And Eastwood I felt was a street name. I also saw like a small lake or pond, and this appears to be, to me, like a park area or a park setting.
Okay.
So I would have to say that it does look like we're traveling parks. Now, somehow, for some reason, and I don't feel that she's there, but there's some type of connection with Louisiana. As if she's connected with someone else who's also either runaway or, you know what I mean? Been out, and they're attached to Louisiana. So I'm not sure I understand it totally. Deb, do you understand that? Help? That help?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do.
Gail, can you say that one more time, please?
Say what? The Louisiana connection?
What would you say after that?
As if I said that I feel it may be a connection to another runaway or someone that she's tied up with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Who's from another area. And, I feel that connection strong going on right now. So I don't know exactly what it means and how that is. But,
Can I interject something to you, or would that screw you up, Gail?
Oh, no, that's fine. Go ahead.
At one point in the beginning of this search, there was a car that fit the description, and they had property given to them in Louisiana. I had a vision of what I believed to be that property, and they actually sent the police out, and the police did a knock and talk instead of just an observance. Could she have been in Louisiana and moved on?
Well, of course it's extremely possible. I mean, because I don't know where she's moving on to, though, if she's in Louisiana and there's a Louisiana connection, she very well would move on to the, Florida area from there. Because they keep going down the line, but
Because they keep going what now?
They would keep going down the line, I feel, if they were traveling that direction, you know what I mean? But the important thing I feel is that this is another runaway.
Okay.
Gail, I missed about
what's
2 minutes.
in chat?
2 minutes. I had to put Brandon to bed.
That's okay. What's in chat, Deborah?
According to Hawaii in the chat room, Eastwood is the neighborhood east of Dallas.
Okay, what did I miss then? Eastwood?
Eastwood.
Eastwood neighborhood.
Deb, are you taking notes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Can you send those to me for Gail? Because I had to step. I had to put Brandon to sleep.
Yeah. Not a problem. Okay.
Yeah, and that's and I wish I could give you more, but that's just basically what I got. But I still feel she's safe.
Okay. So Hawaii says Eastwood is in the neighborhood of East Dallas. Okay, and that would.
Thank you, Hawaii.
Kevin, looking at your notes here, you have Cincinnati. Is that where you think she may be right now?
Cincinnati could be anything. It could be a name of a place, like a restaurant or a street, or it could be the state of or the city of Cincinnati.
Okay. But one thing I'm definitely you getting any sense of danger? I see. I know Kevin has yes.
I know there's drugs involved. There's different things going on, and I do feel there's some sense or air of danger. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'm not feeling horrible yet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She's, from what I see, when I see her now, I see that she's holding her own, but she's pretty strung out at this point as far as drugs. But she's holding her own, trying to figure out how to get back, and trying to figure out how to get away from who she's with at this point. I do know my daughter, if she was with another runaway that she felt close to, she would not leave without being able to pull that child out too.
Okay. And Kevin, that's what you had gotten, right?
I'm sorry?
You had got something that could be with another runaway, right?
No, that was Gail.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That was Gail. Kevin got, she's alive, but she's running for her life. There's drugs involved. A bus stop could be where she's found often. There's the number 912.
Yeah, Cincinnati. So, yeah.
And a name Cincinnati.
Okay.
And Tom or Tommy knows.
Okay.
Gail has Gerard, could possibly be a name, a city, Texas area. Eastwood, she initially said was a street, but Hawaii came on, said that's a neighborhood east of Dallas.
Okay.
A lake, a pond, or a park setting, Louisiana, and a connection with another runaway from Louisiana area. That there is some drugs going on, and she's okay for now.
Okay.
I personally have been seriously questioning, has she fallen into people that are trying to traffic her?
Okay. Now, I haven't got anything like that. Do you coming
And
from this?
I'm not feeling that.
I've just got
Okay.
from this. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a psychic, but I'm saying from the dreams and everything like that.
Right.
I think that that she's just fine, and I think that her father may already have knows where she's at right now, and that she may be calling you for some reason or another, and it might be calling you to help get her out of trouble or something. But at least you know that she's safe.
Right.
And just looking at everything that I have, nothing as far as any harm. So I think that's good, and I think that Gail kind of agrees with that too. And even Kevin didn't get any death or anything on his.
I feel her lonesome, and so I keep trying to send out, my thoughts. Call me. It's okay. I'll help you. Anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even giving her the number, because she left her phone, so I'm assuming she probably had her number programmed in like I do everybody else's.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do feel like she's coming to her rope's end, one way or another. She's pretty strung out on dope. When I see her face, I don't know if everybody thinks that's completely crazy, but I do get little pieces of her periodically.
Okay.
And she knows we have a good relationship. She knows that I will bail her out of anything.
Okay. Well, let's hope that she gets the word or is able to log onto a computer or send an email or something to you soon.
And we've got a bunch of new places hooked up. The Polyclass Foundation.
That's a very good organization.
We have a Laura Recovery Center. I got her put together with about 7 more different places last week. She's in the, this is something that I didn't know about that I would have really loved to have had right on. And I think it would be great for everybody to know that if you have a child go missing in the Texas area, we went with the Texas Equisearch, which is a great organization. I have nothing negative to say about them. But if you've got a kid who's going to run, how much is it going to help to just post it where they went missing? You need to post it where could possibly go.
Mm-hmm.
And the Texas Department of Safety, and they even have a 1-800 number. I don't know, should I give it out?
Yeah, please do.
It's Texas Department of Safety. It's 1-800-346-3243. And they get brochures out to the entire state of Texas, to where, she may not have been able to get as far as Dallas. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I had it all to do again, that would be one of the things I would connect to them immediately, right after the police.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming on, Deb.
Thanks very much.
And Deborah, I know that you've been working with Deb, and doing a lot of things in her website and forums and stuff like that. Is there anything else you want to add on the case, Deborah?
I'd just like to ask everyone to please visit findcindy.com, and one thing that you could do to help, well, in addition, of course, to sharing her photo, printing posters, putting them up where you live, spreading the word, would be to send emails to the contacts that are listed there to try to get some media attention for her
Right.
case.
And keep trying, even though you send them and send them nothing.
Willing to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say keep trying, even though you send them and send them. Eventually, it'll pay off. I do know that, runaways. A lot of people do stereotype runaways, and yes, most runaways are found usually right away. It's been, going over 5 months now since Cindy went missing. So that's a little.
It is.
That's endangered runaway to me. And even though
Well, that's the thing, and that's part of how it doesn't work that way. They're not labeled endangered by. Technically, she's not labeled endangered by the law enforcement. That was a very kind gentleman who does work on MySpace who made me her first flyer. His name is Peter. Thanks again, Peter. I'll never forget what you've done. They do not consider them endangered if they walk out on their own and they're the age that she is. But just because you can plan to go hide out somewhere or go, try to go from A to B doesn't mean that you've got all the answers covered. You're still a child.
Right.
That's why you're not, an adult. You're a child.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
So, I know that sounds like a really dumb, obvious statement, but people don't really get it until they are around a 15, 16-year-old kid and go, oh, yeah, you don't have all of your brain yet, do you? And they don't.
No, it's as we get older, we start moving forward in our brain to the cerebral cortex or whatever. But no, a 15-year-old is a 15-year-old, 16. They're still kids. That's why they're children. And they're missing. So,
Yep.
So, anyways, findcindy.com.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to say, Deb, before we move on to the next case?
Just if she can hear me, if she can feel me, I love her with all my heart. There's no wrongdoings I can't forgive. And Ravi needs you and loves you and doesn't understand. And Grandma is at her wit's end. We're all praying and we're begging God to bring you home. Whatever it takes. If you don't want to stay home, that's okay too. We'll work on emancipation or we'll work something out. Just let us know that you're okay.
Thank you, Deb. And again, that's findcindy.com, FINDCINDY.com. And please go there and spread the word. And thank you, Deb. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Gail.
Thanks.
Gail, I know that
You're welcome.
I know that you're tired and you're getting over the E. coli. Is there anything else that you want to put out? When's your next show?
Actually, we will be starting back tomorrow, Monday, with our regularly scheduled shows. So
Monday at.
I'm getting kind of back up to par. Well, you and I discussed the switching, so I think yours are going at 9, so I'm going to take mine to 8.
Okay. Another thing that we've changed, and Deborah had a good idea for the schedule. Our Missing Persons TV will be on Sunday through Thursday now, so only 5 days a week at 9 o'clock. Gail St. John's show will be on 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, Sundays and Thursdays, Gail?
And Sunday is Psychic Talk at 7.
Okay.
Monday is our Missing Persons,
Monday at 8, right?
broadcast. We're going to switch it to 8. It was at 9. We're going to switch it, so it's every Monday and every Thursday, 8 o'clock.
Monday and Thursday, okay, at 8. So, if you guys are, want to watch us for a couple hours a night, there you go. Don't see why you'd want to.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, the good thing is if we're switching that way, if they want to see both shows, they can. And if I keep mine going at 9, you're switching yours, then that's going to be a problem. So if we switch it,
okay.
they can view your missing persons broadcast, and they can view, missing persons on the psychic view.
Okay, and at 9:45 you can watch me beat my kids live on Missing Persons TV.
I'll be sure to be there.
I don't beat them. And I am sorry about that, but
that leaves marks. Use chloroform.
Yeah. Nancy Grace gave us all a how-to class on how to make that with bleach and ice and stuff. So she did show us. That's one of the things she did teach us. That's how to make chloroform. I'm so happy she did. Anyways, thank you guys for being on. And Deb, I hope you see her soon. I really think you are, and I think that she'll be calling soon.
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. If you need anything else, let us know. Gail, can you get a hold of Reggie and Travis, see if they help work on this case?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Okay, good night, guys.
Get to feeling better.
No more E. coli, please.
I'll try not to.
Go with something else. Something.
Yeah. Well, I've tried salmonella, so I thought I'd try
salmonella.
Oh my God.
Ebola is another good one if you want to practice that.
I'll work on that next.
Okay, great.
I already did Giardia too, so I'll work on all of them.
Wonderful. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Good night, Gail.
Thanks, Gail.
Thanks again.
Good night.
And thank you, Deb, for coming on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys. I got a kid freaking out in the other room myself. I got to do a bedtime.
Okay. Good night.
Thanks.
Okay. We're moving on. Our next case of the night. And these are the cases that were done yesterday and the night before yesterday. The first case would be 763. His picture's already up there. This is Jody King. The case was opened on. Let me tell you in a second. On June 5th of 2009. That was yesterday. Deborah, what information do we have for Jody?
Jody King has been missing since April 20th of this year. He actually is from Ticonderoga, New York. He's missing in, it looks like, Enfield, Connecticut. He is Caucasian male, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 160 pounds, brown hair, and he was last seen wearing a green long sleeve shirt and a black hat. He is missing after being in an auto accident. It was a single car accident on Interstate 91 near exit 48. His family ended up filing a police report in Ticonderoga, New York right after that.
Okay.
They did search the area around the crash site there with dogs, law enforcement did, and they found what they call his personal effects.
Mm-hmm.
They don't specify what exactly that was. The next day, they have a state police chopper also.
Okay.
So, if you have any information regarding Joe's whereabouts, please contact the Connecticut State Police, 860-534-1000, or the Ticonderoga, New York Police Department, 518-585-3456. And what do you have in this case, Brian?
Thank you, Deborah. Sorry about that. Hi, Brett. My neighbor just came by. We're on the air, actually.
All right.
Samuel, you got to hold your voice down. Okay. Sunday night, I guess it's not a good night. Well, it's summer now, so I guess every night's going to be kind of like this. The first dream drawing I have from the night before last, it says, look at tire patterns. Not correct. Different tire. 02 Dodge Ram, blue, 2 men, ex-Army, and then the word Ben Still. Ben might be a first name, and Still might be actually the last name. The second dream drawing says, loan, he will be found. Jody did not tell them about the loan, and then a number, 0177439, and that's all I have. Let's see, hold on a second. That's all I have there. And what was below this? Okay, real quick. I think that it's possible that maybe he had owed some money or something like that, and Come on, Brett. He'd owed some money or something like that, and then maybe somebody had forced him off the road or something like that. That's all I see there. Kevin, I know you've worked this case. What do you have?
Yes, Brian. What I have for the Jody King case is a live 7-story or taller building on 7th Street and Marcus knows. My notes after the meditation, I saw a tall building of 7 stories or more, possibly on 7th Street. This may be where Jody is located. I don't know if it's on a regular basis or not. A man by the name of Marcus could know where Jody is currently located on a regular basis, and that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Deborah, do you have anything else for this case?
No, I do not.
Okay, moving on. This case was opened today. Dream drawings were done last night. This is case number 764, Tracy Ocasio. Did I pronounce that right, Deborah?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Deborah, what information do we have for Tracy? And I got her picture up right now.
Tracy has been missing since May 27th of this year, so she's been missing since last week. She is Caucasian female, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 124 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Last seen wearing a black tank top, jeans, a green and white hat, and a black hooded jacket. She is missing from the Orlando, Florida area. She was last seen leaving a bar with a man, the taproom bar, I believe it is. Double check that. This is an interesting case. It's getting quite a bit of attention for a case of a missing adult. It seems that the last person that she was seen with, his name is James Hadaway. They're calling him at some points, they're calling him person of interest. Some places I've seen him listed as the primary suspect in her disappearance. He asked her a ride home. He says that she gave him a ride home. They ended up locating her vehicle the next morning. They did check her cell phone, and his story does not check out because her cell phone was in the area near his apartment at 8:30 in the morning. Still, even though it was 2 or 2 something in the morning when they had left the bar. And that I double checked here. It is called the Tap Room in an area that they call the Metro West. Now, he's got an extensive criminal record, this James Hadaway, and they include violent crime arrests dating back to when he was 10 years old. In and out of trouble, lots of problems, but what's really upsetting with this case is that they've connected him to another missing persons case, and the other missing persons case did not really get attention. In fact, I can't find a photo of the man. And supposedly this guy was a friend of James, and his name is Anda Christopher George, missing from that same area, Orlando area. I think he's missing from Pica. That's from February, and this James Hadaway was questioned. Now, when this broke in the media, and it came out that Tracy is missing, law enforcement, right after the story hit, interviewed a couple women who came forward that were assaulted by this James Hadaway. Apparently he has a pattern of befriending women at a bar and asking for a ride home. And he tried to break one of their necks, and he's just kind of a bad character. Now, the other thing that's kind of interesting in this case is it's brought Jennifer Kessie's disappearance back into the news. Jennifer Kessie actually lived in that same area. She worked in it. She frequented the Tap Room bar. So they were trying to see if they can draw any kind of ties between Tracy's case and Jennifer Cassie's.
Okay.
So, and what do you have on this case, Brian?
Okay, these are dream drawings from June 5th. The first one says, police can see the apartment from stakeout 290. It's actually 290 degrees, but I couldn't find the little symbol for degrees, so I just wrote 290. Pool CA 7 Parkway 4 equals 3. Not a clue about that. 407-370 4510 video. I got your Skype on that number. I'll bring that up in a second. The second dream drawing says red brick apartment, 2-story, B unit. Actually, it says B unit, but there's an arrow pointing off, so I think B unit might be another apartment building. Stairs. The third dream drawing says wearing Christian ring, building A, apartment V1. He loves her. It actually says love. Internet photos had a dress on them. 22-year-old male, cross-dresser, College Park. I think that she could be, held against her will in this apartment building, a red brick building, 2-story building. Could be apartment A, or I'm sorry, unit A could be the building. I don't know what 4 equals 3. That number, Deborah, I got your Skype on that. I put that in the case file. You say that's a phone number in the Orlando area, right?
Yes, that area code is for the Orlando area, and it looks to be a complete phone number.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks to be a complete phone number, so hopefully that can help. No death symbols here, which is good, and I hope that's the case. That's all I have. Kevin, you worked the case. What do you got?
Yes, this is for the Tracy Ocasio case.
Mm-hmm. I think you pronounced it right too, Ocasio. I said Ocasio. Deborah, do you know the correct way to pronounce that?
Actually, I'm not sure which way.
Okay, well, we got both ways now. Go ahead. Sorry, Kevin.
That's the way our southern people do it down here in Florida. So I don't know.
Okay, well, you're from Florida, so you would know best.
I have alive, abducted, local hamburger restaurant, raging rapids in a stream of water, hitchhiking, pickup truck, heading west, I-95, back roads, white male, 52 years old, Charlie. My notes after the meditation, excuse me. Tracy may be alive and was possibly abducted. I saw a local restaurant, locally owned, what we would call a mom and pop place that served mostly hamburgers. I also saw a large stream of water, rapids maybe, 20, 30 foot wide this stream was. Tracy may have been hitchhiking. A pickup truck may have picked up Tracy. Heading west, I-95 is Interstate 95 maybe. I also saw back roads where some were possibly dirt roads, and a 52-year-old male named Charlie could be involved somehow, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Deborah, do we have anything else to add to this case?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay, thank you. We're at an hour now. Let's go ahead and finish this up for tonight, and then we'll discuss case 674, 680, and 689 tomorrow night. Does that sound like okay to you guys?
That works for me.
Okay, thank you, Deborah. Thank you for Kevin for coming on. Go ahead.
No problem. Great show.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. Deborah, Aji.
My turn, huh? Okay. Aji Basir has been missing since January 10th of this year from Immokalee, Florida, which is a farm workers village. He's 6 years old. He only speaks a few words. He does understand Haitian Creole, though. He's developmentally delayed, which is why he only speaks a few words. They give a guesstimate of about 2 years of age for what he functions at. Please help get the word out that he's missing. Share his photo. Print posters off. Email the media. You can learn more about Aji at findajiadji.com.
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you to all the guests tonight, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, -5 GMT. Good night.